Hi friends, I'm welcoming to this live session. Welcome to the audience. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, hi friends, how are you? In this live video, I'm welcoming you all to my channel, YouTube channel, Gurvira Textile and Fashion Technology Tutorials. Friends, in this video clip, I am going to brief you on aggregated acid dyes. Already yesterday, I took one class on molecularly split acid dyes. Friends, just in brief, I am giving you. Please watch my previous video on acid dyes, which is running as popular video in my channel. Okay, then later you watch these recent videos. It will help. Okay, see, yesterday's class I told molecularly split acid dyes are classified as two types based on their solubility in nature. One is soluble dyes and another one is insoluble dyes. But in dyeing, the acid dyes which are soluble in water, those are called molecularly split dyes. They dissolve in water very efficiently and create clear solutions. Okay, please watch yesterday video. Now, in this class, the second class, the acid dyes, the class of acid dyes which are not in a nature of complete soluble in water, that is solubility, the efficiency of solubility in the water is very less. Such kind of dyes are called as aggregated acid dyes. Friends, now I don't want to waste your time. See, aggregated acid dyes. I'll start point by point. I don't want to go length. I don't want to increase the duration of the videos. These dyes do not split into individual molecules. See, any dyes available in the market, that is in the paste form or in the powder form or in any form, okay, or in liquid form, any form available, those dyes are, if mixed in water, that should be mixed. Each and every dye molecules should dissolve in a solution. Not only water, any chemical solvents solution, it should be dissolved. Okay, but these aggregated acid dyes are not dissolving because, friends, the name aggregated means the group of molecules, the group of dye molecules are together making one big particles, together making one big particles. Okay, individual particles are different from the group of particles, group of molecules. Say 100, 200, 1000, 2000, 10,000 or many number of molecules together making one big particle. That big particle is called aggregates. Okay, in technical terms it is called aggregates. That cluster, that lump of molecules will not split when immersed, when it is immersed in a solution of water or any solution. The efficiency or the degree, whatever the efficiency is there, very slow is there. The particles are not, the individual particles are not coming out. The lump is lump only. The chances of individualization of the molecules are very less in case of aggregated. But in case of molecularly split acid dyes, each and every molecules are split and behave differently, behave not differently, behave individually and take participation in the dyeing of the textile materials. Okay, so these aggregated acid dyes are in the form of cluster or lump, in the form of groups. Chances are very less into split as an individual. The second point is the number of molecules cluster together form bigger particles. Okay, already I told number of molecules together making a cluster. The third point is molecules ionizes and aggregates got electrically charged. See, you know, acid dyes and basic dyes. The main principles of acid dyes and basic dyes are the dyeing affinity takes place between the dye particles, dye molecules and the molecules of the fiber or substance, chemical substance or chemical group of the fiber or chemical molecules of the dye. The dye affinity takes place by means of ionizations in case of basic dyes, in case of acid dyes. Okay, an and cation plays a role. Acid dyes made of dye chemical content that content is having both positively charged ions and negatively charged ions. Say example, here in case of aggregated acid dyes, here one example is there. Same example yesterday I given, today also same example is there. Sodium sulfide, sodium sulfide, Na2SO3. Okay, Na is sodium, that is sodium, Na is sodium, that is positively, basically originally a positively charged chemical element, and sulfide SO3 is a negatively charged element. Okay, SO3Na is present in the aggregated acid dyes, say 15 or red color dye is there. That is a cluster is there. That is a cluster. In this cluster is there, the chemical content is sodium sulfide, NaSO3 is there. Okay, but when dissolved in water, it ionizes. It's supposed to be ionized. If the molecules are individually separated, like in molecular split acid dyes, it is easily, the ionization takes place very easily. Positively charged elements are going one side, negatively charged elements are going other side. But in case of this, a cluster is there. Cluster, lumps of mixing is there. Cluster of both of them. Here also ionization takes place, that is within the cluster, within the lumps of the, within the big particle of the dye. That is takes C here. Na plus is there. Here Na plus comes out, positively charged particle comes out. The rest red particle with the sulfide. Here also the cluster is there. Here also sodium is there. Here also sulfide is there. Both are there in cluster form is there. But though sodium, basically sodium is a positively charged, but it is clubbed with the sulfide in the group. This is a cluster. But this is totally, this cluster group of particle behaves negatively, electrically charged, negatively electrically charged. But the rest, the some part of positive ion comes out as a sodium. See, only 4 parts of Na is positively charged and 15 parts, the minus 4 parts is there. 4 parts of cluster, including sodium, including sulfide together. Hope you are understanding ionization. The chances of proper ionization, electrically charged ionization separation is not happened in this case. So the next point is, these dyes have poor solubility in water. Yes, I told poor solubility in water because 100% the dye particles are not separating. Each and every particles are not splitting. Okay, not splitting. See, in the ionization, it is not splitting. Still, it is a mix is there. Even though it is ionization, some parts of sodium only comes out. The rest part is within inside the cluster only. The solubility, chance of solubility is very less. So what will happen? There is chance of dye, powder or dye comes to the bottom, rest in the bottom as a residue, or if it is mixed, it becomes a solution of turbid. It's called turbid. Solution is a mix, not a good clear solution. Okay, chances are there, solubility is lost. Especially when the temperature is, the cold temperature is there. If temperature, proper required temperature is not maintained, if the temperature of the dye bath is very cold, then the ionization is very less, so solubility is very less. And in these cases, friends, now they stain cellulosic fabrics. They stain. Yes, because this acid, aggregated acid dyes, mainly acid dyes are made for protein fibers, silk, wool or amide content, that is nylon. Why cellulosic fibers? Definitely it will make stain. Stain means it will not affinity, it does not have affinity towards cellulosic cotton, linen or hemp or jute. But if the fiber dyed with this acid aggregated, stain will happen, because stain means the particle, big particles are there, no cluster, okay, that will not go, no chances of entering of molecules into the fiber structure. So staining will happen. It will rest on the surface of the fabric only. First of all, there is no affinity for the cellulosic fibers. Even it is taken for dyeing, it will surface only. It will stick on the surface only. Surface with the stain on the cellulosic fibers. Staining will happen because of the number of molecules present in the cluster. Less affinity towards protein in the neutral bath. I already told yesterday class, neutral bath, without the presence of any extra activators or reagents or acids. In a normal bath, neutral bath, definitely the efficiency of the dyeing or affinity, the increase in the affinity will be less. That is less increase, or if there is a less affinity or less increase, affinity is very less, then the dyeing is also, efficiency is also less because of the neutral bath. So instead of maintaining the neutral bath, if any other reagents, chemical agents are used, ammonium acetate, ammonium sulfate, acetic acid, if such dyes, if such chemicals are present, taken for the dyeing along with the aggregated acid, and also maintain the required temperature, high temperature, chances of increase, chances of making increased affinity towards the protein fibers, silk, wool or nylon. Cold temperature is not suitable for these fibers, in especially in neutral bath. Friends, see, dye fibers affinity increases with the increased concentration of acid in the dye bath. So how much acidity there, how much more acidic, more acid concentration is there in the dye bath, that much of affinity is taken place for such the aggregated acid dyes. So here one is high temperature should be maintained, high required temperature is required. Second one is the acid concentration is also maintained, is required. And in case of molecularly split acid dyes, CH3COH formic acid or H2SO4 sulfuric acid is used. But in this case, ammonium sulfate, ammonium acetate or acetic acid are used to increase the affinity or to maintain the efficiency, high efficiency, required efficiency to dye the textile fabrics. So, and another one point, friends, see here, leveling of dye on textile materials is poor due to the high affinity of aggregates. See, you might have confused, you may confuse. See here. Here, due to high affinity of aggregates towards protein fibers, when additives are added like ammonium sulfate, acetic acid and other things and maintained temperature, then these aggregates, cluster of molecules, dye molecules, have greater affinity towards protein fibers instead of neutral bath. Then what will happen? If affinity increases, if chemical bonding or ionization efficiency is increased, what will happen? What will happen? Leveling, the dye level is not good. The dyeing of the fabric widthwise or lengthwise will not good, because these are not individual molecules are not take part in the dyeing of the fabrics or yarns. Here groups of molecules together taking parts in dyeing. Understand, individual molecules are not taking part in dyeing of textile materials, yarns or fabrics. If individual molecules are taking part in the dyeing, so level of the dyeing can be achieved. But in this aggregated acid dyes, because of groups, number of 1000 groups, thousands number of molecules, 2000 number of molecules, 10,000 number of molecules together playing a role in dyeing of textile materials, yarns or fabrics, so we cannot expect the level dyeing. So why? Because some big particles might have 1000 number of molecules, some big particles might have 2000 molecules, some particles might have 10,000, some particles might have lakhs, 2 lakhs. So, if because of variation in the degree of aggregation, because of the variation in the number of molecules present in the cluster or lump of particles, so leveling is also a chance of variation in the leveling will be there. So that variation in the number of molecules present in each particle to particle, cluster to cluster, that variation is there. No, that is measured in degree of, that is by called as degree of aggregation. What degree of aggregation is there? Average degree of aggregation. Take average of clusters. Say, I'm saying, say 20, just I'm saying 100 clusters are there. 100 clusters are taken to dye a 1 meter fabric. All 100 meters are having same number of molecules? No, chances are there. One particle, one big particle might have 100, one particle might have 1,000, one particle might have lakh. Chances are. So there is variation. So what is the average of all 100 big particles? That average is considered as degree of aggregation. This is what I'm saying is all theoretical, but practical in industry, dyeing industry, what is going on, that is different. And now the technology in 2022, technology is upgraded, all high technology, high machineries, high chemical composition, high innovations are done going on. So such problems might have not there. Okay, so I'm going to close this video by just saying the examples of commercial aggregated acid dyes. Whatever please keep in mind, friends, whatever I written here, I'm saying here, these are all not the present day dye trading names, dyeing trade names. These are all taken from the textile books what we are studying. For if you want the present day commercially available aggregated acid dyes, you can go for Google search or any other search engines. Now for your example, for your understanding only, for your reference only, I am saying how aggregated acid dyes examples are trade names. One is Polar, LOR is there. Polar is a trade name or company name or manufacturer name. Yellow is the color name, R is the symbol, R means red. And xylene milling blue, GL. Xylene is a trade name or patent name or manufacturer name, or milling is a processing, that kind, and blue color. As like that, acid milling, red G, Kumasi, fast orange. Kumasi is a trade name or manufacturer name. This is orange, blue. Company name will be there or trade name will be there. Okay, or color name will be there or symbol will be there. Alright, this is how the examples are there. Friends, I'm going to close now live video. Next video I'm coming the other how the acid dyes are classified in other ways. Okay, see, so hope you have understood. Please subscribe to my channel Gurvera Textile and Fashion Technology Tutorials. Please like it and share with your friends. Thank you very much.